So a seemingly internal... Let's read this. Let's find out about the leak. Let's come to our own conclusions. Let's weigh up the evidence and let's decide what's happening here. A seemingly internal document has begun circulating on Reddit and other social media websites, which would appear to reveal the pre-patch and global release dates for several Activision and Blizzard Entertainment products, including World of Warcraft Dragonflight. That's the new expansion. If this is true, it would reveal that Dragonflight pre-patch will be on October the 25th, with a global launch on November the 28th. Diablo 4 pre-purchases on December the 8th. Game launch and events by required readiness level. So we got WoW Classic Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch and pre-sale on August the 30th. First things first, is this correct? Is the Wrath of the Lich King correct? This is true, right? Is this right? At the time of writing, this is correct. Okay, good. Okay, Tuesday, October the 4th, Overwatch 2 PvP launch, early access. I guess this is true too. Tuesday, October the 25th, TBD, to be decided, right? Is what TBD means, to be decided. So this is provisional, even if it's leaked. It's only provisional and could still change. It's not even been decided on by them. Oh, this leak came out 2 hours before the announcement. Oh, Tomonotsu, I love that shit. I don't know if you're telling the truth or not, but I love that shit. That's my favorite thing, is when people are like, yeah, well, that's the correct date. And also, it came out an hour before the actual announcement. It's my favorite fucking thing. I love it. I love it. No, I believe you. I believe you. I believe you're telling the truth. But it's literally my favorite thing. I love it when people drop that shit. I love it when they drop that shit. It's my favorite thing. It's like a Scooby-Doo reveal. It's awesome. Okay, so, right. Okay, so, and then the COD war, I can't even pretend to be excited about COD, sorry. Okay, and that means then that, we've got WoW Classic, Wrath of the Lich King Global launch coming out on September 26th. Now, okay, here's the thing, right? I personally have known the Wrath of the Lich King release date for a while. I've known that for a while because it has not. I know it hasn't been announced, but in kind of like WoW creator circles, it has not been much of a secret. What I'm saying is, it wouldn't take massive insider knowledge to have known the Wrath release dates. Just so you know. You know, that's not to rubbish this leak. That's not to say this leak isn't true, but I wouldn't put too much stock on the Wrath dates being correct. Check out the interview that mentioned 2-week pre-patch in your Discord if you want. Lino. Yeah, no. So, it refers to WoW 10.0 pre-patch being October the 25th, and then the WoW 10.0 global launch on November the 28th, which is over a month of pre-patch. Well, it's like 4 weeks of pre-patch, right? And as has been correctly pointed out, pre-patch was previously said to be 2 weeks. However, it's also worth pointing out that the pre-patch event was said to be 2 weeks. I think it's perfectly reasonable that the October the 25th date refers to the pre-patch as in talent tree changes, as in access to the Drakthea for people that have bought the game. And then 2 weeks after that is when like the dungeon and whatever the event is kind of goes live. I would think that's pretty reasonable, and the fact that it's a 4-week pre-patch here doesn't discount it either for that reason. October the 25th would also mean that 4 cycles of fated raids. Yeah, totally. That's what I would imagine. I think you're going to have 2 weeks of access to Drakthea and class changes, talent tree changes and stuff. They've given Drakthea conduits and Shadowlands Covenant powers, so I think the talent trees will be in pre-patch. Oh, the talent trees 100% will be in pre-patch. 1,000%. The talent trees will go live on the day that Drakthea become playable, which will be at some point in the pre-patch. Like, yeah, they're not going to have the Drakthea doing all their shit and having, like, you know, their talent trees getting filled out and stuff without everyone else as well. Probably the new interface as well, I'd imagine, yeah. All that kind of stuff usually comes in pre-patch. So yeah, I wouldn't mind betting that we have four cycles of fated raids. That seems to make sense. And then pre-patch on the 25th. So the game going live on November the 28th. What date did Shadowlands launch? 23rd of November. Didn't it get pushed back into December though? It did actually release on November 23rd. So that was after the delay. Okay, I mean that's very similar, isn't it? And everyone was complaining it was too close to Christmas then. Everyone was complaining it was too close to Christmas then. So a week later, I don't know, man. What do people think about that? Am I right in thinking there might have been a shit show? Christmas isn't really an issue. Why? Because usually they like the raid to come out a couple of weeks after, right? I think this is probably true. You know, to be honest, if this expansion is coming out in 2022, which I have no reason to think it won't, honestly, like they've said that it will, the alpha's great. You know, there's no reason for me to distrust them at the moment. If they think this game is coming out in 2022, then I've got no reason at the moment to doubt them. And if that's the case, there's only so many weeks it can possibly be. Like, you could take like 3 different guesses and one of them would have to be right, basically, about the release date. You know, I could give you 3 guesses for a release date right now. One of them would definitely be right because there's that little to work with at the moment. Oh, I can hear my little boy. Who's here? Look who's here. Who's that handsome boy on my screen? Can you say, for the Horde?
For the Horde.
Can you say, for the Alliance?
For the Alliance.
Can you say, Twitch Prime?
Twitch Prime.
Oh, good boy.
Beautiful boy.
Good boy.
Oh, I love you so much. Give me a cuddle. Give me a cuddle. Oh, I love you. You're the best. Can you say Dragonflight?
Dragonflight.
Not bad at all,
Not
my
bad
beautiful
at
boy.
all.
Yeah. Not bad for 12-year-old, is he?
Yeah.
I love you, darling. Can you say Stony Tony?
Stony Tony.
Right at the camera.
Can you say it again? Stony Tony.
Stony Tony.
Okay, time to go back downstairs. So yeah, I think this is true. I think this is real. I see no reason why this wouldn't be real. It's perfectly believable. And the thing is, we'll never know if it's real or not, because even if these dates change, they've put, you know, TBD, to be decided, right? So it could easily just change. It doesn't have to at all. The image, which appears to be a partial screenshot of some internal chain management and readiness documentation detailing various game launch dates for monitoring purposes, was shared a few hours before the August the 30th date for Wrath of the Lich King Classic pre-patch was announced. Like I say, I wouldn't read too much into that. It was pretty well known. This has helped lend it an air of authenticity, although it is somewhat odd that it specifically details WoW, Overwatch and Diablo with a little bit of Call of Duty sprinkled in. It also mentions the Game Awards, for which Activision President Rob Kotick serves on the advisory board. What do the comments say? Do I want to read the comments? Ignoring the Race to World first, holy crap, that seems fast. As much as I love to follow the Race to World first and the top-end raiding scene, I don't think the release date should cater to that sub 1% of the player base. In regards to the authenticity, one piece of the... Okay, well, let's see if they go along with it. Like it or hate it, this is the same timetable for raids that Shadowlands had. The Castle Nathria was near or almost over by Christmas, so holiday isn't a factor. Seems about right. It has to come around mid to late November if they want to release expansion... and the raid Mythic Plus season this year. Okay, so you tell me, if November the 28th is the real release date, does the raid come out in 2022? That's my question. Yes, you reckon? I think it comes out in January, if that's the case. I just don't see it. I just don't see it coming out because I don't think they're not going to have all the staff there over Christmas and New Year. I'd say January, honestly. I think we're going to get, over a month before the raid. They won't delay because of business. What would a longer launch period prior to raid release look like? Yeah, it's hard to say. Castle Nathria did come out in December. I could see January just for more time for the raid to be polished. There'll be absolutely no bugs. Yeah. I hope they delay the raid but not the X-Pack. Yeah, I'm kind of down with that as well, actually. There'll be nothing to do. You can't start Mythic Plus season or anything. Yeah, that's a good point. To hold off Mythic Plus like that as well. It's been so long. Would that mean there's only been one raid in 2022? Doesn't it? Would that make 2022 a one raid year? I think 2021 was a one raid year as well, wasn't it? Holy fuck. I mean, 2021 was a one raid year, wasn't it? Only Sanctum came out in 2021. They can't have 2 one raid years in a row. Back in my day, there used to be 6 raids a year, and they all came out on day 1 of the expansion. 6 fucking raids. Pop, 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 pop. They all came out day 1. And if you weren't good, if you couldn't do them, fuck you. Yeah. That's what happened back in my day. Each boss had a single mechanic. Well, there's that, of course. I honestly enjoyed WoD more than Shadowlands. I mean, there were things about WoD that I enjoyed more than Shadowlands. Yeah, absolutely. They acknowledged that they haven't announced any dates and thank people for feedback. In terms of like, have Blizzard said anything about this? Well, the thing is, like, you know, you can guess as much as you want because, you know, November 28th is one of about 3 dates that the expansion could release on, to be honest. You know, there's not that many dates you could possibly guess at. Season 4 is really fun. People are having a lot of fun with it. But one of the reasons it's so fun is you know it's not going to last long. Isn't it amazing? Knowing that something isn't going to be around for like 9 months actually makes it more fun. Knowing that it's going to be a nice short patch and then something new is coming, like, literally makes you enjoy the patch more. It's as simple as that. Like, this is why cadence is one of the most important things in a World of Warcraft expansion. Simple as that. The dungeons are good and the fated raids are good. The experiment was a success. I agree. And I think it's a great way to end an expansion and to combat the content lull at the end of an expansion. Let's start a poll. 2022 raid release, good, order, bad? Let's make it a 1-minute poll. 2022 release date, good, order, bad? Which is it? What do you think? No preference? That's cool. Don't vote. I personally think Shadowlands has ended pretty well. I think really literally 50% of all the patches have been kind of bangers, honestly. 915, 92 and 925, really, really good patches. It's just the whole first half of the game. Don't see why they couldn't delay the raid. Well, a good point has been brought up that if they delay the raid, they kind of have to delay Mythic Plus as well, which no one really wants to do. I love the slower paced patch cadence. Nownet, that is a very unpopular opinion. I'm afraid I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one, my friend. I'm afraid I'm going to have to, on this occasion, stand in opposition to you. Okay, the people have voted, and the people have voted that a 2022 release date would be good. The vote is a lie. Yeah, well, okay, we'll see if 61% of the player base think it's good if it does come out in 2022, right? Because I've got a feeling people won't agree. That's just my feeling. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, that's what I think. Blizzard and Race to World First Raiders have said Raid won't cater to them, so Mythic Plus might just release without Raid. Oh, I don't know, man. That's going to allow so much gearing. Before raid releases. I'm not sure how much I would like that. Yeah, it ruins heroic and normal raiding. I kind of agree. And that would be a shame, right? I mean, it's one thing not to cater to the 1%, to the elite players or what have you, but it's another thing to kind of like mess up the gearing for everyone. Mythic Plus preseason could be possible, yeah. 61% want it all to burn down. No, I think there are you know what I think? Maybe it will come out. We've had no raid testing so far, though, have we? It would feel like content is disconnected, I feel. Yeah. Do you know what? I started this conversation and I was in favor of them holding the raid until 2023. And I've changed my mind. I want it to be 2022, even with this like relatively late release date. They might not do raid testing. That's true. I'm just going by the evidence of you know how it's worked before. Oh shit, man. Yeah, I've changed my mind. I started this conversation and I was all about a 2023 raid, but now I feel differently now. I've changed my mind. Let it never be said that I don't change my mind on shit. Take Christmas week off for raid. Yeah, everyone's on holiday anyway, right? So what difference does it make? Everyone's on holiday anyway, so they can be raiding, right? I don't want content that's rushed just to get it out before the new year. So you would hold the whole expansion until New Year. I don't know. Now, I don't give a shit about Mythic Raiders, honestly. So in that respect, I don't care about the raid coming out over Christmas. I don't. I'm really sorry. I just don't care. You know, my heart goes out to them and I feel sorry for them, but not to the extent that I would want the raid changed. And genuinely, I think most of them would agree with that as well. No. My worry about it coming out over Christmas is the staff. is the Blizz devs. I don't want anyone pulling fucking Christmas shifts. You know me, I'm all about the labor. I'm all about the staff, right? And I'm all about the good working conditions. And I don't want devs working over Christmas just because they released some fucking raid, right? That's what I think. So that's my main concern. I don't know, but I don't know. If there are any devs watching this stream who are a bit worried about it and think that you're going to get dicked in terms of hours and work and stuff, please DM us. Completely, obviously, we won't share anything you don't want us to share. We certainly won't share who you are or anything like that. But if you are a bit worried about it and you think you might get dicked, please contact us. Don't they get overtime? I don't give a fuck, man. Like, no one should have to work over Christmas if they don't want to. It doesn't matter if they get overtime. I don't even know if they do, mind, because generally people in American video game companies get dicked. It's a real shame. What of the devs get holiday pay and don't celebrate Christmas? Well, I mean, I guess it's up to them, but I mean, I'd imagine, you know, if I had a staff and something very important was happening over a certain time period, then you want your guys on it, really, not just the people that can do it. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's not like just general maintenance, is it? The thing about a raid is there's potential tuning that has to happen. Like, you got to have your full team on board for that. And it can't be just whoever's available. You know, like for a raid going live, so much can go wrong, and it's such a big deal that genuinely you need people there. It can't just be like, oh, only the people that don't celebrate Christmas and are okay working over a holiday for holiday pay get it. I don't think that's a good thing. Dumb idea. What if they release normal, heroic, mythic plus, say December the 10th and 17th, had mythic January? Would that work? It would really mess up the gearing for mythic anyway. It would fuck up the mythic gearing for sure, but I don't know, maybe Iron Hand J, thank you for the 5 months. Very awesome to have you here. Thank you. Mithran for the win, thank you for your sub as well. 5 months for you. And Hobbit, I think I thanked you before. I'm thanking you again. Cheers, mate. I predict a lot of gear issues from Raid with the return of group loot. Well, that too as well, probably, yeah. Could you hold mythic dungeons? Would be a real shame. It would be a real shame to hold mythic dungeons. That's the thing that's making me think 2022 has to be a thing. But I mean, I think they'd have to. I think they'd have to just hold like the start of season 1, basically. So no mythic raids, no mythic dungeons, sorry. Nothing. Yeah, it doesn't feel great, does it? Well, I mean, I wouldn't be able to make the decision. I wouldn't be able to decide what to do. I just want the content that does come out to be polished and ready. And yeah, I agree that it's a bad idea to force devs to work over Christmas. But even from a purely selfish point of view, perspective, I don't want them hurrying to throw something out there just because of some arbitrary deadline. Yeah, totally. But at the same time, we don't know what state it's in, you know. I certainly would prefer a 2022 release date than 2023. I just would. I just like it more. No endgame progression for 5 weeks would be detrimental to the expansion's momentum. I agree. So it's a tough call, basically. In a way, I hope this is fake. And I hope that they've got an earlier release date planned, which means we avoid this problem. Or else they just release the raid over Christmas. Kata released in early December. What happened there? Good shout, Mego. What did happen with Kata? Does anyone remember? I guess the raid, the first raid was out on day 1. Were they still doing that in Kata? Yeah, they released at the start, so not the same issue, really. So, I don't know, man. I guess I want the raid coming out on November the 28th. I think that's what I mean. I think that's what I want. It is a really tough one, and I don't know what the answer is, honestly. I don't know what I think. If it's possible to do without dicking around staff, I would say just bring the raid out over Christmas, but I just don't think... I'm not sure how possible that is, honestly. You know? I just don't... My main problem is I don't want staff to get dicked. Raid comes out, quick tuning, week off for holidays. Yeah, well, you'd hope so, right? You know? But I want them to have New Year's off as well. Most people do. Everyone deserves that weird kind of like 5 or 6 days in between Christmas Day and New Year's Day, right? Where you don't know what day it is. You're in kind of like this kind of like weird limbo of just eating chocolates and watching movies and seeing family and shit. You know, everyone deserves... I don't care what religion you are. I'm not a Christian, right? I don't believe in the Christian God. It's just, you know, I just don't. Sorry. But I love Christmas. Christmas is fucking banging, man. You know, we've always celebrated on that date because it's a really good time to have a really cool kind of festival of light style party, right? It's really awesome. And like, yeah, everyone deserves that week in between Christmas and New Year. For sure. I believe in the old gods. Yeah, you know it. Obviously, loads of people only get Christmas Day off, and I have been there in the past, my friend. I know exactly what that feels like. I know what it's like to only get Christmas Day off, and it sucks ass. I've been there. It's very bad, and it's wrong, and it shouldn't happen. And loads of people work Boxing Day and shit for like no extra pay either. Do you know why? Because our economic system is fucking shit. But we won't be getting into that right now. Don't worry. Holiday days off are going to be a bit weird this year since Christmas Eve and Day are on Saturday and Sunday. Oh yeah, I always like Christmas Day on a Sunday though. There's something about Christmas Day on a Sunday makes me feel good. Okay, or hear me out here. We ignore the probably fake leaked launch date and assume they launch mid-December and raid opens first week of January with no need to have full staff over the holiday. I mean, that could happen too. That could happen too. Everyone has Boxing Day. Boxing Day is just the day after Christmas. You know, you might not know what it is, but it exists. Why fake? It's been 100% correct already. The only thing it correctly... I think this is real, and I want to make that clear. Let's set my stall out here. I have no reason to believe that this is not real. However... The kind of like the proof that it is, the evidence that it is real, is that it predicted the Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch and pre-sale date, right? Before it was announced. However, as a creator, I just want to point out that I knew that date. And I am not very high up the fucking food chain, okay? I'm not very high up the food chain, and I knew that date. So I'm just saying, if I knew it, a bunch of fucking jokers knew it. If I knew it, a bunch of fucking pleb level assholes knew it, frankly. And it's not really a big deal. It's the same dude that leaked Evoker and all that. Holy fuck. Blizz need to find this dude. I think at the end of the day, what we've learned is Blizz need to find this dude and they need to discipline this dude. What we've learned here is that there is some asshole working for Blizz right now. Because like the stuff that gets leaked, I would rather not know. You know, I feel like release dates and shit is kind of harmless. But the shit that motherfucker has leaked has been the kind of shit that you don't want leaked, honestly. I don't want Evoker leaked. I don't want like a still from the trailer leaked the day before the trailer is shown. Like the stuff like that dude, whoever he is, even if it's you, Terran Gregory, whoever he is a fucking asshole, frankly. Stop leaking. Yeah, find this dude and fucking stop him leaking, man. Seriously. Get that man some maxi pads. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think that hype for the reveal was already incredibly high, right? You know, leaking that shit the day before the reveal did not do anything to help the hype. It just made everything suck more. When I was in the Navy, we went down to skeleton crews on Christmas and we split shifts so everyone worked, but we would come in for 2 hours and be relieved by the next guy. We were the essential service, air traffic control, and even then we struggled with the fact that we had to do that on family days. Non-essential personnel, not necessarily releases should be minimized. I completely agree. It's a weird document. I have no reason not to believe it, honestly. Fingers crossed it is fake and that it's actually coming out a week before. But even if it's real, it doesn't actually tell us the date because it's TBD. A bad person working at Blizzard, how shocking. I mean, of all the bad shit that we've known Blizzard employees to do, I think leaking release dates. Oh, it could be the time that is TBD. Oh, okay, no, fair enough. Yeah, no, you're right. I think you're right. It is the time that's TBD. God, I've changed my opinion on a lot of things already today. My goodness. As someone in software dev, the structure of this document is what gets me. It's almost identical to the structure we use. Oh, shit. Look, I think this is probably real. There, I said it. I think it's probably real. There you go. What more do you want me to say? And I actually just don't know what I feel. I don't know how I feel about that being the release date, honestly. Don't know how I feel about it.